The title of this video is not clickbait. Tower Defense Simulator developers openly and actively hate their player base and everybody who supports their game. And with every passing update that gets added into this godforsaken game, I get convinced of that more and more and more. And I'm gonna get into the specifics and details of why I think that, but for now, I just want to mention that this video is really hard for me to make because I've been a fan of Tower Defense Simulator for 6 years at this point, ever since the game first came out. And I supported it through thick and thin. I supported it when people were accusing it of being a Tower Battles clone. I supported it during its 2-year update drought. I supported it through absolutely everything that the game went through. But when it comes to its new way of monetizing events and when it comes to its new PvP mode, I just genuinely cannot defend this game anymore because it has shown me that it absolutely does not care about me or anyone else that plays its game. And it is just so apparent. But anyways, enough yapping about all that, and let's jump right into it. So, the first crack in Tower Defense Simulator's facade in the recent year has been with its introduction of pay-to-win battle passes. And I'm sure you all know what I'm talking about, right? Every time Tower Defense Simulator releases a new battle pass, they make it extremely grindy, and then on top of that, they make it so that you have to pay like about $5 to $10 if you want to unlock like half of the battle pass, right? And I'm not gonna repeat myself too much more because I already made like 2 or 3 videos on these battle passes and how much I hate them. But I am gonna just put that out there, you know, as the first crack in Tower Defense Simulator's facade of being a game that cares about its player base. But you know, the pay-to-win aspect of each new battle pass that they released isn't even the worst part of it. The worst part of each new battle pass is how unbearably fucking grindy it is. And I'm sure if you played Tower Defense Simulator recently, you would know exactly what I'm talking about. With each new battle pass that comes out, you need to collect about 27,000 currency in order to fully complete it. Just to put it into perspective, each game, each event game or like fallen game or, you know, whatever mode the developers decide to base the event around, every time you complete the event mode, you gain about 600 to like 800 currency, right? And that means that in order to complete these battle passes, you would need to play 50 games. You would need to play 50 mind-numbing, boring fucking games over and over and over and over again without a single change in your strategy or like the enemies or just anything. You have to play 50 games over and over and over again. And each one takes about 20 to 30 minutes to complete as well. Just to put that into perspective, that is about 25 hours of playtime. And that's on the low end. You need to play the game for 25 hours in the span of like 40 days. In order to complete the event. And some people, you know, make the argument that usually with these battle passes and game modes, you only need to play like 1 game a day to achieve the quota, right? But I still think that's a pretty dumb excuse because playing Tower Defense Simulator or playing any game every single fucking day for an hour for like 40, 50 days straight is just like I think I need to say anything. Like, that's actually mental, right? That's like that makes the game look more like you're clocking into work instead of playing a fucking video game that's meant to be fun, right? Like that's genuinely what Tower Defense Simulator has started to feel like. It started to feel like you were clocking in to a fucking 9 to 5 to grind every single day to make minuscule progress towards your goals instead of like playing a game because it's fun, right? And Tower Defense Simulator has already proved that it can make events that are not grindy whatsoever and still really, really, really fun. Like, for example, my favorite event that TDS ever made was the Winter 2019 event. Like, the vibe, the atmosphere, the music, it was all so jolly and festive and just beautiful in my opinion. And the game mode that was packaged, the event game mode that was packaged into this whole event was really fun and really challenging, and it was just a blast to complete. Right, it had a ton of unique enemies. The boss was really difficult. It was all really challenging. But the best part of it all is that you didn't really need to grind the game mode 50 fucking times in order to get everything that you wanted. At most, you needed to beat it maybe 10 times, right? And maybe that's even a stretch, right? You probably need to beat it 5 times in order to get everything that you wanted. And people found this really fun at the time. People found the fact that it wasn't grindy like all the other Roblox games pretty fun at the time. Because even if you lost the game, you would still be able to get tickets in order to buy all the event, what are they called? Towers and emotes and all that. And people enjoy that, like I said. But then, in the current day, if you want to get all the events, emotes and towers and skins and cosmetics and all that, you need to play 50 games instead of only 5. And again, I'm sure I don't need to drill any. I'm sure I don't need to drill it in any further, because if you guys have played Tower Defense Simulator recently, you probably know just how mind-numbing that is. However, despite being so mind-numbing, it was still at least manageable, and it was still at least feasible to do, right? And then, in the midst of it all, the developers of Tower Defense Simulator decided to release a half-baked PvP mode into the game. And in order to get to the top of the PvP mode, right, in order to get all the ranks and all the rewards in the PvP mode, you have to get 3,000 Elo to climb all the way to the top and to get all your rewards. And on the surface, it doesn't seem too bad, right? Because Elo is the PvP currency, right? So collecting 3,000 Elo as opposed to 27,000 event currency to complete a battle pass doesn't sound that bad. Until you realize that you need to play about 1,000 fucking games if you don't cheat. And don't use win trading or anything. If you don't cheat or use exploits, you need to play 1,000 fucking games in order to get all the way to the top. And sure, fucking PvP games are at least a little shorter than regular games of Fallen or a regular event game or whatever, but they only got a little bit shorter. They're certainly not fucking 200 times shorter, to the point that they warrant you needing to, beat the same challenge 1,000 times over instead of just 50 times over. And the Elo that you get in Tower Defense Simulator, which helps you unlock all these different rewards in the PvP game mode, is genuinely trash right now. There aren't nearly enough people playing the game mode for the game mode itself to be sustainable. Because if you join the game mode right now, and let's say you get to the rank General 1. If you get to the rank General 1 and you continue playing the game, there are going to be maybe 3 other players in the world who are not even online at the same time that you are, who are also at the rank General 1 or above. Which means that 99% of the time, when you hop into a match, you're going to be matched up against private 1 brand new players. And the reason, and you might think that that's good because they give you an easy victory against some noob, and you can just move on and grind more Elo or whatever right after the game. But the problem is that when you are at a high rank in the PvP mode and you beat a low ranking player, you get less Elo than you would normally get. And that disparity with Elo only gets worse and worse and worse the bigger the gap between you and your opponent is. So for example, if you're General 1 and you be a private 1 player, you're gonna get maybe 5 or 10 Elo, right? And that's if you win. And if you lose, you're probably gonna lose a fuck ton of Elo for losing to such a low ranking player, right? You're maybe gonna lose fucking 100 Elo or something like that. And like, obviously, as you can see, that's a really big problem, because if you're getting 5 elo every time you win, and you need like 2,000 or like 1,000 more elo in order to get all the way up to the max level, you're gonna be stuck there grinding for dozens and dozens and dozens of hours, if not like 100 hours or more. Like, it is absolutely unbearable, and is an absolutely terrible system. And this system, to me, really proved to me that tower defense simulator developers do not care about your time, and they have no respect for the time that you put in their game. Because, like, in the past, right, we had battle passes, which were really grindy, and like that already kind of showed me that the TDS developers don't fucking care about anything that player base has to say. But then they released a skill tree update, which is even more grindy, and that was like, that really kind of pushed me almost over the edge. And then they released this fucking PvP game mode where you need to get over 1,000 wins in order to complete it. And that just sent me like all the way over the edge. It just fucking threw me over the edge, like I was getting fucking publicly executed, right? And so yeah, it just really showed me that these developers have absolutely no respect for anything that you have to say, or any amount of time that you spend in their game, and it's just really sad. And you know, as I mentioned before, for a company that actually respected its player base a long time ago with like the Winter 2019 event, or pretty much any event before 2020, for a company that actually respected its player base and the time they put in the game, it's super sad to see take a nosedive off a cliff like that. Like, it is just super, super sad. And then the worst part about it all is that right when people were complaining about how grindy the mode is, and right as people were pushed into exploiting win trading in order to complete the PvP mode, the developers of TDS decided to fucking patch win trading as well. And like, obviously, it's something that needs to be patched, right? Like, it's an exploit, so it needs to be fixed. But it should under no circumstances be fixed right now, especially when their game mode sucks this bad and when elo is this broken. When the game is in a state where you need to get 1,000 wins in order to complete the PvP events, or whatever you want to say, the PvP, or whatever you want to call it, the PvP season, right? When the game is in that state, win trading should, under absolutely no circumstances, be patched, right? In fact, I would advocate for them to add win trading back until they figure out a solution for this absolute garbage of a game mode that they shat out, right? Like, if their game mode is completely broken, they might as well show their players some mercy and let them have an exploit in the meantime, right? While they are figuring out how to fix elo and how to fix their mistakes. Because the PvP mode is not just grindy, it's impossible to finish normally, right? Like, unless you have a friend that you're like grinding with, and like, unless you have a friend that's like letting you win, or unless you're doing like win trading, or unless you're doing something like that, unless you're using some kind of an exploit, it is genuinely not possible to finish the PvP season. Like, it is just genuinely not. But yeah, that's really all I have to say. I mean, I'm just shocked. I'm just really shocked by the developers' behavior, and by their just blatant lack of expertise when it comes to handling a game, especially when they've handled a game for 6 years, right? You'd think that by now they'd have their shit figured out, but instead they just view their player base as money bags, and they just release these dog shit grindy fucking updates to keep their player base locked down for as long as possible, right? And it just really saddens me. And again, with PvP, it's not even like a thing where you can just like beat one game a day and eventually you're gonna get to the end of the battle pass, like with the regular event battle passes, because it takes 1,000 games to complete, and there's only 90 days to do this, right? So you're gonna have to play for hours a day, like literally clock in like it's a fucking 9 to 5, in order to complete the PvP season. And again, as a person with a job, that's just absolutely not feasible. But yeah, like they say, making a grindy update one time is an accident. Making it 2 times is a coincidence, but making it 3 times is by fucking choice. And the TDS developers really showed pretty much everybody with this update that their choice is to completely disregard their player base and screw them over in every way possible. But yeah, anyways, that's enough yapping for me. That's all I have to say. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope I changed your mind if you're still blazing TDS. And that's really all I have to say. See you later, everybody. Goodbye.